Welcome to Qigong Coaching Clinic. Today I wanted to share with you several keys that will help you achieve what we call being in a flow. Being in a flow is an amazing state of heightened clarity, awareness, and peak performance. And it happens because when you're in the flow, you're not struggling against the flow of things, against the flow of life, against the Tao, against the energy that everything is made of in this world. We learn how to be in the flow not just once in a blue moon, but on a regular basis. Once in a blue moon, we experience being in the flow when the circumstances align, when the stars align, when we just happen to be at the right place at the right time. But unfortunately, not many of us know how to do this at will. What does it mean to do this at will? What would it take to get into the flow whenever you need to be in the flow? Well, it actually would be, first of all, a matter of paying attention to the flow of things. A lot of us pay attention to all kinds of other things instead. We pay attention to the stock market, we pay attention to how we deal with the challenges of our daily lives, we pay attention to how we get sick or we get hungry or we get cold or hot. We pay attention to various things that kind of have something to do with the flow of life. But it's not directly the perception of energy. What would it take to switch your attention from the appearances or the superfluous forms and shapes of things to the essence of things? Well, we learn how to develop this amazing quality of attention that few people develop in their lifetimes by focusing, first of all, on our own inner essence. Sounds simple, doesn't it? If you want to learn how to pay attention to the inner essence of things, well, why not start with yourself? And what happens when you pay attention to your own essence? Well, you realize that you are an energy being. You realize that you actually experience this flow of life force in your body and around it all the time. How do you pay attention to it? Well, there are certain practices. And one of the simplest things that we're going to explore today is to actually accept it first. Because without acceptance, it's really hard to pay attention. It's like if you're not accepting what you're perceiving, most likely you're going to be either struggling or judging or trying to run away from it or pretend it's not happening. Either one of those options are not going to help you be in flow. What would help you be in flow? Well, actually fully accepting what is. It's like if you are floating on the waves in the ocean. Well, you need to pay attention to where the waves are coming from and where they're going if you want to catch these waves and surf the waves. If you are floating in the surface of the ocean and not paying attention to the waves, what happens? Well, they just toss you up and down. And many people go through their lives being tossed up and down. As a matter of fact, there is this expression in English. If somebody asks another person, hey, how's it going? How are things going for you? Often people respond, well, up and down. What does it mean? It means that they're not paying attention to the flow. They're just noticing the fact of the matter that they're being brought up on some occasions by these waves that are kind of swelling up and pushing them upwards, and on other occasions, they go down. Many people are going down right now. Many businesses are going down. Many countries are going down right now. And, things are going to go up again. Do we want to go up and down, tossed by the waves? Or do we want to learn how to surf these waves? Do we want to learn how to navigate the flow? Well, that would be an amazing thing to do, wouldn't it? And that's exactly what we are learning. We're learning how to develop the quality of attention based on acceptance. If you accept what is happening, then you can do something about it. If you don't accept it, then most likely you're going to be resisting or reacting to what's happening. When you react, you often become more tense, and also emotionally and mentally, you become stuck in a perspective based on that reactivity. What would be an example of responding instead of reacting to the flow of things? Well, we actually use physical practices for that. And the easiest way to demonstrate that would be to actually have a practice partner who would help you discover what it's like to be responsive rather than reactive. You can do this by yourself. I'll demonstrate that as well. But let's see how we can do this with help of a practice partner. It can be your life partner, it can be your neighbor, it can be your brother, sister, a friend. We basically invite a person who would have an ability to either push you or grab you or do something else that basically would be an energy projection. And then we'll learn how to accept these projections and actually respond to these projections instead of reacting to them. I'm going to ask my apprentice, Sirka, to come and help me. Hi, Sirka. Thank you so much for joining me today.
Thank you for having me, Leonard.
I'm going to ask you to do something that probably you're very capable of doing, and that is to push me into my stomach or my chest. If I'm reacting, you can easily push me over, right? Next, would you push me again? Now, this is not the same response. It was a different experience, wasn't it?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Or would you push me stronger? Interesting. So, in a sense, I'm not being pushed over easily. I am swiveling around the axis of my spine. This is like the vertical axis. And what I do is I just simply feel, where's the energy flowing? Is it flowing more to the right or to the left of my center? If there is more energy flowing to the right, for example, if you slowly push me more towards the right side of my body, I will pivot in this direction. Now, if more energy is flowing to the left, guess which direction I'm going to pivot? I'm going to pivot to the left. Why? Well, because more energy is flowing that way. It's a no-nonsense way to feel where the energy is flowing and immediately start responding to it. Now, sometimes we operate on assumptions. For example, if you're pushing me and I assume that you're going to push me into my right side, oh, no, you pushed me into my left side. Well, if I was really stuck in the perspective, I would not pivot. My body just knows how to pivot. I didn't even know which side you're going to push me. But if you, for example, just try to trick me. Yeah, very nice. So what happens is that even when the energy is coming and you're not sure where it's going to go, we learn how to trust our bodies. We learn how to feel rather than to project. Because any assumption is based on projection, right?
Yeah.
And what we do instead of assuming, which is like making ass of you and me, we learn how to feel the energy. And it's easy to feel. Like, for example, the funnest question I often receive is, what if the person pushes me straight into the center? Like, I find, like, real center of your body, and I just push right into it. You have freedom of choice. With the turn, why not exercise the freedom of choice? You actually have the opportunity to choose to turn to the right or turn to the left at will. Now, there is a preferred direction to turn. The direction is the same as the name of the pushing hand. So if I'm pushing with my left hand, you turn to the left when you have a chance. You don't even have to step back. You just turn. Yeah, just like that. Very nice. Why is it better to turn to the left? Because you're not going to be on my center line. My center line is like where my navel is pointing. So if you turn to the right, my center line is still pointing at you. But if you turn to the left, I'm going to be going past you. That's more advantageous. So sometimes you can even trick the person who is pushing. For example, if you're pushing me with the right hand, but to my left side of the body, I can actually step. I can literally just step sideways, and then your hand will land on the right side of my body, and still will suggest that I will turn to the right. And so that basically means our center line will be pointing away from me. Would you push me again? Just like that. What happens is that when the energy is coming, all you need to do is just pay attention. No resistance, no struggle, no mental projections like, why is he pushing me? What did I do to him? You don't need to engage in this kind of mental games. You just simply pay attention. And that also means you accept things that happen without trying to get rid of them. For example, if you do me a favor and grab my hand. If I just try to get rid of this grip, it also just solidifies the grip. You become stronger in the way that you're holding. So instead of trying to get rid of this grip, I learn how to go with it. And where would I go if I go with the power of the grip? Well, there is a certain direction where the energy of this particular interaction is going. This direction can be felt. Like if you let go for a moment and grab me again. Yeah, there is a certain slap. This slap is essentially an energy projection. And it's going this way. If you grab me again, now it's going this way. If you grab me again, now it's going this way. If you grab me somehow else, now it's going this way. Would you grab me with two hands? Now it's going this way. Yeah. Yeah. So yeah, go ahead. Nice, nice, nice. So as you can see, now we're playing a totally different game. It's the game of how not to be struggling, how not to be in reaction. It's the game of feeling the flow. And when, like for example, if you slowly approach my hand, I don't even have to wait for you to solidify the grip. I can start moving in this direction already. And that is a maddening experience for many people who try to grab me because it's like, wait a moment, why can't I grab this guy? He's like a weasel. He's weaseling out of my grips.
Yeah.
And so I'm not running away. I'm not trying to push away your hands. I'm actually moving in the direction of the energy projection. It's again something that would be fun to do with another person. The other person can also learn to do the same. You trade roles. So for example, if you let me grab your hand, approaching, so notice how I'm already kind of pushing a little bit. If, instead of pushing against me, you move with it. Yes, very nice. Excellent. Great. Nice. Yep. Fantastic. Nice. Yeah, that's it. But if I grab you with this hand, not much better, isn't it? It's fun, isn't it?
It is.
There you
Yeah.
go.
I broke my own arm.
No, that wouldn't be good. So don't break your arm.
Oh.
It's one direction. It's the direction of my going point. And it's going right there. Yes. What's the log going point? It's an energy gateway in the middle of the palm. It's a pretty powerful energy point that projects the energy pretty much perpendicular to the surface of the skin of your palm. Imagine for a moment a thumbtack glued to your palm with a sharp point pointing away from your palm. Well, that thumbtack would prickle the hand of the person you're grabbing. So if I'm about to grab your hand, you can just feel where the energy is going. The thumbtack would be pointing in the direction where you need to move. So you need to move this way, yes. Or try to get that hand. Very nice. Great. Good. Easy, isn't it? That's something that you can even do to yourself. Just one hand grabbing the other hand and learning how to feel where the thumbtack, imaginary thumbtack, glued to the palm of one hand would direct the movement of the opposite arm. And it's not just direction, just the movement of the hand, it's the movement of the whole arm and maybe the whole body. Because it's not enough to just move the arm and just stand there like a statue with just arms moving. You actually need to move your whole body. For example, if you grab me again, see, I'm moving my whole body. It's a lot more effective as compared to just standing and trying to wiggle my arms. And then when your whole body is involved, something really cool can happen. You will have to learn how to move your feet following the harmonious culture movement. Because if you follow harmonious culture movement, you literally learn how to step with soulful steps. You will learn how to take natural steps and natural turns. If you're interested, we have a whole program that covers all of these. It covers how to stand, how to step, how to move, how to breathe, how to function as a functional human being. And also, it actually teaches you how to apply these principles of energy awareness, and you don't have to take them on faith. You actually test them, which is the funnest way to learn them. Because if you are just given some information, you're supposed to memorize it, it's like rote memorization, it's not fun. But if you're testing them and you're turning into a game, it's so much more fun and you'll never forget it. And that means that you'll be able to embody it in your daily life. Because we're not just learning this so that you can practice Qigong 1 hour, maybe 2 hours a week. We learn how to practice so that you can do this whenever you are awake and even in your sleep. I'm not kidding. We actually learn sleep yoga as well, so that you can also practice in your dreams. But what we do, first of all, is we take baby steps. So we learn how to just stand without falling over, without struggling against gravity. We learn how to step in such a way that it takes the least amount of effort and energy and gives you maximum results. And we learn how to project energy using power instead of force. I covered those principles already in some of my previous videos. You're welcome to peruse my page and find them and enjoy them. We'll also dive deeper into them in our program. This program is actually starting right next week. So you have just a few days to register. Click the link below this video. Register for the program. You will never be the same. Right, Sergey?
Right.
You've been studying with me for a couple of years. I'm not just blowing smoke up people's asses. I'm actually teaching a very doable, practical, and extremely effective ways to turn your life into a dream. Literally learn how to start living a dream, not struggling against it, but actually just enjoy the flow as much as humanly possible. Right?
Yeah, definitely.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
I look forward to working with you. If you have any questions or comments, feel free to post them below, where you can also find the link to our program. Don't hesitate to register now. When you do that, I'll also give you a couple of additional bonuses. I'll give you a couple of online courses that will add not only value, but a certain sense of transformation. Because one of those courses, for example, is on integral martial arts. We'll literally integrate the principles of martial arts in a way that allows us to practice on the basis of the principles instead of doing forms. Another thing that also will be fun to explore is an online course that I'm going to offer to you for free when you join this program. And that's on how to overcome the most prevalent problems people experience in Qigong practice. There are some problems, and many people drop off after just trying a few classes or studying for a few months because they run into these problems and nobody helps them overcome these problems. Well, this is going to be a fun and enlightening course on how to overcome these problems, and there's going to be also another bonus that I'm going to offer to you without even advertising it too much. It's going to be a private coaching session. You will experience a massive benefit from working with me one-on-one in a coaching capacity. I look forward to working with you starting next month. Until then, namaste.